Hi, we're talking today about business objects and changes within the business objects environment and how to manage those changes. Looking specifically at security changes. And within the business objects environment, really like any system, security is a key topic. And being able to have strong controls, strong visibility into the settings, the access, the rights, the roles, the custom access levels within your business objects environment, that's quite important. APOS Insight does a lot to give clear visibility into the system, and we want to talk a little bit further about that. So the security changes that happen and the people that make them, whenever those changes are made, it's important to understand a few key questions. Key questions around the changes that were made. Were they intentional or was it made by accident? The changes that were made, are they accurate or are they inaccurate? The changes that were made, do they come out of good motives or bad motives? Unfortunately, security is such an important topic. That's a question that needs to be addressed as well. So APOS Insight, as mentioned, does a lot to give clarity and visibility into these kinds of topics. So Alan Golding, if you can speak to us a little bit about how APOS Insight functions to do that.
Yeah, certainly. So users today can find it very challenging to get metadata about your security policies within business objects. And not only that, but also understand when data breaches have happened and be able to prevent ways from that happening again. So APOS Insight can provide a mechanism to extract that metadata from both the CMS and audit databases. We can store that into a central repository and give you granular access to analysis and analyze that data further from a security perspective. So to give you some examples, we have a couple of reports that we provide you. And this one here we're looking at gives you full access to be able to understand who has full access to what reports and folders and what users and groups, and be able to break that down any way you want. On top of the metadata about your security, I mentioned being able to understand who's done what, where, when. So we have a report here that gives you user activity. So if something's accidentally deleted, refreshed, scheduled, viewed, edited, modified, all of those activities are captured by APOS Insight and can be reported off of.
So that's helpful information for sure. It leads to a customer scenario where working with a US law firm who unfortunately went through a situation where security changes were made that gave inappropriate privileges where they shouldn't have been. Those inappropriate privileges were used in a malicious way, and essentially a key data breach took place. And while there was suspicion about these things, they weren't really able to track it down without having this kind of granular level of information about who had rights to what and what activities were happening. So these are important security questions that apply not only to this customer, but to many customers and most customers. APOS Insight does a lot to help with that and giving visibility into your system security, helping you manage that change. Lots of other change scenarios that we can talk to and other applications of APOS Insight. We'll be talking more about those in the future. But for today, thanks, Alan.